I smoke that blunt, don't get high enough. Roll another one, just get it warmed up. I smoke a lot of weed from dawn to dusk. Little bit here and there, it all adds up. I fuck a few bitches.
What's good, guys? Welcome back again to my channel. In this video I will show you a free Logic Pro X template using Waves plugin. You can get this template completely for free. The link will be down in the description, so if ever you're interested, go download it right now. I will just show you the basic of this template, like the routing, how to set it up. It's using Wave plugins only, but if ever you're interested in one with only stock plugin, I will be releasing one very soon. And if ever you don't use Logic, you use Pro Tools, don't worry, because I'm gonna release one as well in my upcoming videos. So if ever you want to know how to use this template before you're using it, well, check this out. I'm going to show it to you right now. Alright guys, so this is the template. As you will see, it's gonna be a very basic template. You have here to put your beat, here to record your vocals, here it's for the lead, the hook, the background vocals, and the ad-libs. I will explain to you a bit how to use it, because as you will see, if we start by the lead, the hook, and the BGs, and also the ad-libs all have the same settings. The only differences is in the ad-libs. For the EQ, I put like a radio effect just so it sound like an ad-libs. But beside that, all the routing of these three, lead, hook, and background vocals, are identical. So if ever you want to tweak it up, you can do whatever you want here. So basically how it works, you have your lead here, okay? That lead track is routed to a aux track that says bus lead. So if ever I go here in the mixer, just to give you an idea, you have the lead bus, the hook bus, the BG's bus, and the ad-libs bus. So any of these tracks here are routed to the aux of it. So let's say you have two verses or two lead, whatever. You just click, you click on it, you duplicate the track, and boom, you have two leads. And if ever you want to add anything else to these leads, this is like the main setup, but you can always add like your auto tune or any other things that you will add separate from this. Because if ever you do modification here, you add new plugins, well, every lead routed to this aux will have all these effects. But let's say you want to have that main effect, but you just want to add something different on that particular verses, not the verse 2, verse 3, but just this one. Well, you're going to add a plugin here. So basically, it's just going to affect this track, but it's not going to affect all the tracks buses to this aux, if you understand what I mean. I think I already have a track here just to show you as an example. All right, so let's start by the beat. Sometimes your beat can have too much bass, too much low end. So that's why I add an EQ that cutting a bit the lows and just boosting up a bit the highs. The only thing though, that doesn't mean that your particular instrumental that you're gonna use will need that. So if ever you realize that your bass is good, you don't need that, well, just take out this and don't use it at all. And as you will see here on the stereo out, I put a VU meter. So it's just to give you an idea to properly gain stage. So I'll give you an example with this one. As you can see, I already cut a bit, but I think I didn't cut enough. This is a proper way to gain stage. You want to aim for 0. And if ever by doing that you realize that your beat is low, but your lead, aux, or any other vocal track are way too loud, well, just lower the volume and that's it. Because after that, you're going to use a limiter to put everything higher in volume. So that's all fine. Because if ever you're clipping, once you're going to put a limiter on it and add volumes, you're going to have distortion in it, and you don't want that. First thing first, gain stage. And after that, you decide if you have too much or not enough low end. That's all depends on your beat. And I put a BPM here so you can know the tempo of the song. So let's go with the routing and the process of everything. So this is the lead track. What you have here, it's a NS1 bus. This is to cut out the noises, either from the floor noise, the sound, because sometimes when you record vocals, you can hear the instrumental on the headphones. So you just want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So NS1, it's a good plugin to tame that. If ever you don't have that plugin, you want to use the stock one, you can change the plugin. This is just to give you a basic start. After that, what I do, I have a de-esser here. So this is, I'm just going to play, actually, I'm going to play you the vocal so you can hear how it's going to sound. I'm going to play it without.
I smoke that blunt, don't get high enough. Roll another one, just get it warmed up. I smoke a lot of weed from dawn to dusk.
And you see the room wasn't treated well for that recording. You can hear a bit of echo, but it's just to kind of give you an example. If I add everything up.
I smoke that blunt, don't get high enough. Roll another one, just get it warmed up. I smoke a lot of weed from dawn to dusk. Little bit here and there, it all adds up. I fuck a few bitches as usual. I don't really care if you're beautiful.
All right, so just to give you an idea. So we have the de-esser here. After that, we have the REQ6. Basic stuff. Cutting the lows. I cut here because there was a bit of moneyness. That doesn't necessarily mean that in your track, you're gonna need these exact settings, so feel free to play with it. It's just to give you like a basic startup. I boosted up the highs. If you say that it's too crispy, put it down. That's it. After that, I have the R compressor. This though, once you play it, you just gotta make sure that your threshold it's under the bar, the yellow bar here.
Get high enough. Roll another one, just get it warmed up. I smoke a lot of weed from dawn to dusk. Little bit here.
Because if ever you see that your yellow line are hitting here and the threshold it's higher, well, it won't compress nothing. So that is very important. You make sure that it's below the yellow bar. Very important. After that, CLA3A. Okay, this. I'm using this to use the volume for the vocals. So basically the gain knob here, this is where I'm gonna put my vocal sitting in the mix. So if it's, I'll give you an example again.
The weed from dawn to dusk, little bit here and there, it all adds up. I fuck a few bitches as usual.
I use this knob for the volume of my vocals. And this, it's for the compression. What's nice about that plugin, you don't have to worry about release, attack, any ratio, anything of that you don't need. The only thing you're gonna check is the peak reduction. You don't want to go like if ever you see that it's hitting all the way there and your voice sound like this, that means it's way too compressed. Like
I don't really care if you're beautiful. What makes you think you're so special? I never claimed to.
You know, that's way too much. I put it to 6 because for this voice it was good. If ever you see that it's too compressed, dial it back.
Roll another one, just get it warmed up. I smoke a lot of weed from dawn to dusk. Little bit here and there, it all adds up. I fuck a few bitches as usual.
I like to reach around 5. So for me, 5 is a good number. So for that case, 6 is good. But like I said, that doesn't mean to stay like that. Do it for your vocals. And after that, last thing, Mani EQ. I love this plugin. Cutting here, cutting there, boosting here and boosting there as well. I don't use any high pass filter because I already have one in my EQ here. So it's very simple. And let's say you don't want to drag it, like it's a new track. What's good about the setup that I have here, so I'm just gonna add a new track. Let's say I use this track here. So imagine you're mixing for someone, you import a session and you just import the file to that template. You're gonna see there's nothing.
I smoke that blunt, don't get high enough. Roll another one, just get it warmed up.
But what you will do in that case, if ever you don't want to copy these or this, you just go here to the stereo out here, buses, and you just put it to the lead bus. Boom.
I smoke a lot of weed from dawn to dusk, little bit here and.
So this is how you do it. So let's say you import a session of someone to mix it. You don't want to copy the lead, you just, any single track, you can bust them. So this is the lead. But let's say it would be ad-libs. You bust it to the ad-libs. You bust it to the Bee Gees. You bust it to the hook. You know, like very easy to use. If I talk about the buses, this one is the parallel compression. So once you use this one, you very, very important. You always leave this one at 0. So if you want to use this, the parallel compressing, you go to your mixer and you will find here P-Comp. you have to dial that fader. This is the parallel compression. Because if ever you dial here, it won't work. It's not going to be good. So this has to stay at 0. And it's the fader of the parallel compression that you boost if ever you need more parallel compression. If you don't need it, well, just turn it off. The doubler, all the rest of the plugin, you can use the fader here. So the doubler, put in solo.
Get high enough. Roll another one, just get it warmed up. I smoke a lot of weed from dawn to dusk. Little bit here and there, it all adds up. I fuck a few bitches as usual. I don't really care.
This is the reverb. For the reverb, I will actually show you the buses, what we have. The doubler, it's the doubler 2. The parallel compression, it's a CLA 76. The delay, it's a Manny American delay. Very nice delay because you can really play with it. Phaser, doubler. You can add reverb to the delay. If ever you don't have that delay, you can use any other delay. H delay or any other one. But it's just to give you like a good start. As for the EQ, there's nothing on this one. The reverb though, I cut here and I cut the lows and cut the highs to really don't spread out too much the reverb, even though it sounds spread, but it's to try to tighten it up a bit. And for the color, the number 6, this is to give a bit of crispiness to your vocals. This is to add color. It's an exciter, so it's this one here. And this one is the same. You never play with the fader of these. Never. You only use these one here. The only one that you use the fader here, it's gonna be the parallel compression. So the doubler here, like I said, the reverb. After that, you have the delay.
I smoke that blunt, don't get high enough. Roll another one, just get it warmed up. I smoke a lot of weed from dawn to dusk. Little bit here and there, it all adds up. I fuck a few bitches as usual.
And the last one here, which is color.
I smoke that blunt, don't get high enough. Roll another one, just get it warmed up. I smoke a
Just to give a bit of color.
lot of weed from dawn to dusk.
Of course, if you overdo it, it won't sound nice. But it's just to give you like kind of an idea. You're gonna see the same thing for the hook, same thing for the background. Because me, once I have a great sounding vocal, I prefer to have my hook bus, my lead bus, my ad-libs, everything sounded as clean as that. And after that on the track, I do modification. So the only thing, like I said, difference here, it's the EQ that I changed. So I'm gonna put it on the verse low, but normally it's ad-libs.
I smoke that blunt, don't get high enough. Roll another one, just get it warmed up.
This is to put it like ad-libs. If you don't like that sound, just change the EQ and don't put it as a, because this is like a telephone effect. So, but you don't need to have that if you don't want. So, oops, put it back here. So
I smoke that blunt.
So what I will do, I will just take out all the plugins and play the vocals and just add the plugins while it's playing.
I smoke that blunt, don't get high enough. Roll another one, just get it warmed up. I smoke a lot of weed from dawn to dusk. Little bit here and there, it all adds up. I fuck a few bitches as usual. I don't really care if you're beautiful. I smoke that blunt, don't get high enough. Roll another one, just get it warmed up. I smoke a lot of weed from dawn to dusk. Little bit here and there, it all adds up. I fuck a few bitches as usual. I smoke that blunt, don't get high enough. Roll another one, just get it warmed up. I smoke a lot of weed from dawn to dusk. Little bit here and there, it all adds up. I fuck a few bitches as usual. I don't really care if you're beautiful.
You see? Simple as that. Now I put it like as you were mixing for someone. But let's say you want to record yourself. You have the record track right here. I put gain. The reason why I put gain here, it's if ever you just want to add volume while you record. I put the compressor here just if ever you want to compress while you record. These ones here doesn't use much, so you might be able to use it without too much latency. But beside that, you don't need it. You just don't do it. So even if you put the compressor, it's not going to record the compressor. So you're all fine. And just to finish, I'm going to show you the stereo bus, what I have. I have the VU meter, like I said, for gain stage. I had vitamin. This is just to add a bit of clarity in your overall mix. After that, I put a little bit of compression here. And to finish, a limiter just to get volume. These are at default settings. For the limiter is at default settings. Use it at your taste because every beats are different. The only one that are with my setting, it's vitamin and the master bus compressor. So that's the only two things. The limiter, you have to add it to your taste, add the volume you want to have. Normally, me, what I do, it's I close these, I do my mix, and after I add these. Just to not mix with like kind of a master. I don't like to mix that way. If you prefer to leave it all like this and mix with that, it's all to you. You can do it, no problem. It's a very basic template, but I think it can help you achieve a nice vocal. The link will be in my description if ever you want to download this for free. And like I said again, if ever you don't have any of these plugins and you're only using stock plugins, well, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because very soon I'm going to release a template using only stock plugins and a Pro Tools template too using Wave plugins. And if ever you have any suggestion of plugins you would like me to use, you would like me to review, you would like me to do tutorials on it, or comment down below. I will check this out and I will get back with a video with your recommendation. So thank you guys again for the support. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel, and everything I will be releasing on this channel is completely free. So I'm really planning soon. I'm working on my website that soon it's gonna be out too. So you're gonna have a bunch of things to download. And like I said again, everything on my channel is completely free. The only thing you have to do is hit that subscribe button, guys, just to help out the channel. So thank you guys again, and see you in the next video. Ciao.
I smoke that blunt, don't get high enough. Roll another one, just get it warmed up. I smoke a lot of weed from dawn to dusk. Little bit here and there, it all adds up. I fuck a few bitches.